Hello, I'm Simon. Welcome to my workshop. In this video, part of the workshop organisation series, I'm going to be building a storage solution for my hand planes. Let's get tinkering. I found this scrap of chipboard and I think this will make a good strong backboard for my plane storage solution, which is going to sit on the wall or be bolted to the wall. It's about the right sort of size. I'm sort of thinking the planes will sit or hang a bit like this. Haven't quite decided exactly how. So it's the right sort of size. It needs a bit of tidying up. None of the edges are square. So I shall do that, and then I'll think about how I actually attach the planes to this board when it's hanging on the wall. Turns out 3 of the sides are actually square, so I only have to square off one side, which I do using my trusty, if very old bandsaw, which I restored in a previous video. I then cut a piece of second-hand pine board to the same length as the chipboard back I'd just squared off. And then, because this was an inconsistent width, I rip cut the board to about 2 inches, that's about 50mm. Once cut, I remove the saw marks left by the bandsaw using my plane. Don't look too close, this is the first time I've used a plane in 35 years. But if I can use a plane, then so can you. It went pretty well and made short work and a lot less dust than sanding. I then position the planes how I want them stored and mark the positions of the outer 2 planes on the pine board. I then remove these 2 planes so that I can square up the middle plane before also marking that one. I then cut these profiles out using the bandsaw. It's not so good at these tight curves, but with patience it is possible. You just have to nibble away at it. I do have hand coping saws that I could use, but they're a lot harder to keep square. And using my late father-in-law's old bandsaw makes me smile. He would be very happy knowing it's still being used. I can now sand the part using my oscillating spindle sander. If you're interested, I have a video review of this sander. It is a budget machine, but I've been very happy with it, and the dust collection is superb. I'll leave a link in the description. I then finish off the sanding with a sanding stick. These are easy to make, and once you've made one you will find that you use them all the time, so go make some. I now need to make the brackets that the nose of the plane will slip into to hold it securely in place. These are again made from scraps of pine and cut out on the bandsaw. And using my now sharp chisels, I can cut out a notch for the nose of the plane to fit into. I could have done this on the router table, but I gravitated towards my dad's chisels, much quieter and quite a bit more satisfying. I decided, like my chisel holder from last week's video, to round the corners of the back plate of the holder, using the same can so both holders have corners with the same radius, and then cut these out. I then softened all the harsh edges with a light sanding. I marked up where I wanted to fit the screws that will hold the parts to the back plate and piloted these using my trusty, if very budget, pillar drill. I'd previously completed a dry run and marked up the optimum position of each part on the backboard, so I was ready to glue everything up. I used screws to provide some mechanical strength to the joint whilst also acting as a clamp until the glue was dry. The tips of the screws also provided a little purchase to the glued parts so that they wouldn't move when I turned the board over to tighten the screws. I could now give everything a final sanding just to make sure all the surfaces were flush with each other. I decided to paint this project mainly because the chipboard is a bit ugly. The paint I'm using is an outdoor water-based paint guaranteed to last 10 years with no need of an undercoat. It dries quickly in warm weather, has no odour and it's easy to clean the brush. it gives a very hard and durable finish. Once the paint was dry, I added a couple of pilot holes to the backboard before fixing the holder to the wall with a couple of screws. It's a complete accident that this holder is exactly the same width as the chisel holder I made last week. So let me know what you think of this solution in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, why not subscribe by clicking my logo? It's free, and YouTube will add some of my videos to your feed. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.